I was in charge of, I took care of the Durham boats from the mid-90s until roughly for 12 years, 12, 13 years. General maintenance was also involved in the construction of the new boats, the 3 new boats that they have. Well, they would go into the water. I used to do maintenance on the boats, clean the boats out, make sure that they were watertight until usually October when the boats were put in. And then it required a daily inspection until the boats came out. There was some years they came out shortly after Christmas, and other years they were stuck in the river until March sometimes. And that involved keeping water out of the boat, making sure that they weren't iced in. If they were iced in, to clear the ice. When they had the flood in, I believe it was 68, or excuse me, 98, 99, somewhere in there. The flood waters came up over the wall out there. We pulled the boats in about 2 o'clock in the morning with the help of some reenactors over the wall. When the water receded, they were left high and dry out on the lawn here, and then put them in the barn and did maintenance on them then. It was just a job. A friend of mine worked here, said that they were looking for a boatwright, someone to take care of the Durham boats. I had a lot of woodworking experience. Fine woodworking and boat building are pretty much the same. They go hand in hand. If you're making a piece of furniture or building a boat, you know, your concerns are what's the wood going to do when it's in position, when it's built. I was here every day that I worked. Every Christmas. That's what, 12, 13 Christmases. Once the boats were in the water, they were my charge. And I was responsible for making sure all the safety equipment was on the boats for the rehearsals. The actual crossing. When the Olympic torch came through here, I was responsible for that crossing. The maintenance of the docks when they were in the water. And then getting all that out of the water as well. Ooh. Going home when the event was over, Christmas Day. It was just a long day because everyone that worked in the park at that time was required to be here on Christmas Day. We had people who had been 30 years and never had a Christmas home, but they were down here at the park to support the crossing. When I first started, it was the maintenance crew, which was Bob Barnett, Tom Coogan, Larry Harvey, Tom Teddimer, who is still here at the park, Karen Horvath, Eric Castle, who was the administrator when I first came here. There was a lady here, Emma Adams, who was in her 80s when before she died. She was still working here when she died. She was a secretary, and she would help put the boats in the cradle. She'd direct traffic. She'd get out there when the crane was here. I'm trying to think of who else. A number of people, almost everyone that worked in the park at that time, at one time or another, helped during the crossing. All the tour guides.